Hey, Dave Fannin here with the Body Firm Personal Training Fitness Bootcamps. Low fat or low carb for weight loss. Major study concludes it doesn't matter. What you have to realize about weight loss and fitness research is unlike medicine. Medicine starts with a disease and then they go find a cure for it and then they apply it in the field. In weight loss and fitness, what we do is we find out what's working on the ground. Then the researchers come in behind us and prove what we already know is working with lots of clients. And this study simply concludes things we already know, but it never hurts to see it actually working in the lab and working in a controlled environment. It's not just by happenstance. The things you hear from me, which is eating whole foods, finding out what works best for you, and making it sustainable. These are the three things that actually matter. Easy, effective, and sustainable are the things that matter over time for weight loss and fitness when it comes to nutrition. 600 participants. The lead researcher was from Stanford University. This was not a fly-by-night study. It was for 600 participants over a 12-month period. What they found was a few key things when they put these people under. Let's look at the study. Who was studied? 600 participants. During the first 2 months of the study, the low-fat group was instructed to consume 20 grams of fat per day. Low-carb group, only 20 grams of carbs per day. However, they were not expected to stay at these levels indefinitely. At the end of the 2-month period, the first 2-month period, they started adding fats and carbs back into their diet until they felt they'd reached the lowest intake level they could sustainably maintain. Neither group was able to stick with a very low starting intakes. By month 3, they had all went up. That's key. When you get on a low carb, low fat, low calorie diet where you see one of these like fitness competitors, selling this stuff, and then you're like, shit, I can't stay on this forever. You're not supposed to be able to. And ideally, you go with a diet that works from the day one that you can stick with. 2, while no caloric intake targets were given, both groups were instructed to consume high quality foods and drinks. Specifically, they're instructed to maximize vegetable intake, minimize intake of sugars, refined flours, trans fats, focus on whole foods, 100 best foods list, that were minimally processed, nutrient dense, and prepared at home whenever possible. Again, whole foods are the key. It's the what you eat matters. And over a 12-month period, they had dietary recalls. Within a 24-hour notice, they were on notice. And they were also looking to see if genetics or that person's insulin resistance had any play. Where people go, I just think it's my genetics. Or maybe I'm just insulin resistance. It doesn't really play into it. So they were looking at these 3 things. So what was studied and what were the results? What was studied, the first primary hypothesis being tested was a potential link between genotype pattern and diet type for weight loss. Like, is there a specific diet that works best for people with a certain genotype or insulin resistance? What were the results? 481 out of the 600 completed, and that's pretty good for a test of a full year. The study showed no significant weight loss differences between low fat and low carb groups. Additionally, within each group, differences in genotypes and insulin secretion made no significant difference in weight change. Genetics don't matter. Your insulin doesn't matter. Ironically, a potentially confounding factor masking an interaction that could have been with both diets were based on whole foods. They're saying if they went low carb or low fat with where you eat just heavily processed but low calorie, it would have had a little bit of a difference in change. But what they were looking for was nutrient dense, high quality foods. No significant weight loss differences were seen between the low fat and low carb groups. Neither genetics nor insulin production could predict weight loss success on either diet. There were also no significant differences between groups from other health markers tested. So what does the study tell us? The results of the study contribute to a large body of evidence indicating that for weight loss, neither low fat or low carb is superior. We knew that, as long as there's no difference in caloric intake or protein intake. Increase your protein, it forces out fats and proteins. It doesn't matter. That's the key. It doesn't matter which diet you use. The one that you can actually start is the one that matters, and it will last over time. 2, adherence. Not every participant adhered perfectly to the assigned diet, which reduces our ability to direct relationship between genotype, insulin production, and diet intervention. That's something you need to realize, is that no one, because I have so many people coming in feeling guilty, they're like, God, I couldn't stay on that diet perfectly. It doesn't matter. All these people were variable, and they had some problems with staying right on it, especially after the second month and third month where they're starting to raise their calories and let their fats and their carbs up. And the third thing is, there is no best diet. The best diet is the one that you can take for it. So what should you take away from that? What should you take away from this study is that there's a variance. There was a 20 to 30 pound variance in the outcomes with different diets with the participants. So one diet will tend to have a different effect on each person. So you have to find what works best for you. Second, in aspect to in accordance with adherence, in the beginning of the study, all participants were asked to stay really low, and by month 2 or 3, they couldn't. So they started bringing it up. By the end of the trial, the vast majority had not been able to maintain the low levels of intake. And third, there is no best diet. Both low-fat and low-carb diets can work for weight loss. The healthy diet that will work for you is the one that you can stick with. And that is the key to this whole thing. Easy, so you can do it. Effective, enough change in your diet that you actually see results. Third, sustainability. We do not do short-term diets in my program. We're looking at healthy eating patterns and healthy eating habits that you can sustain for the next 10, 20, 30 years, even things that where your kids see you and they start picking up your habits, and it's a generational thing. That's important. There is no best diet. It's the best diet that you can do and the one that you can stick with over time. And I hope this helps you and backs up what we've already been doing in the Body Firm Personal Training Fitness Boot Camps. And if you like this video, like it, share it, comment below. And if you have any questions about it, you can private message me right here on Facebook. And I hope you have a great day.